Okay guys, here we go. We have Monday's workout, Christmas Eve. We've got 1 rep max front squat. We've got a 3-minute AMRAP of 30 sledgehammer hits on a tire. And then with the remaining time in the 3 minutes, max reps kettlebell swings. Then after that, we're going to have a little bonus workout of 3 rounds for time of 7 power cleans, 205, 135, and 10 handstand push-ups. Pretty much what I'm trying to get at with this weight is heavy. Heavy, probably singles, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get over to the front squat. All right, let's go say hi to little Morgan here. She's going to be our demonstrator for the day. First thing we're going to talk about is putting the weights on the bar, okay? So if you're squatting, you always want to have clips on the bar, okay? With bench, it's not really needed as much. In case you drop the bar on the chest, you can dump or so on. All right, next, we want to make sure, okay, that we make sure the numbers are facing in, all right, to keep the power in, okay? All right, so putting those clips on like so. All right. What we're going to do here with the front squat setup is we want to make sure if you're standing right by the hook here, you want to make sure it's right at about shoulder height, so that as soon as you bring the bar off of the rack, you can just stand up off and not have to tippy-toe it off the rack. And then when you re-rack it, you can just walk forward and drop it down. Let's go and show you what it looks like. So right there, let's say she finished a rep. She can just walk forward and drop it down. She doesn't have to look left and look right and make sure she goes over any hooks, okay? All right, next we're going to talk about the front squat setup. All right, what we want to do is have a really good front rack position, okay? So let's just go ahead and do that. All right, notice with her hands, they're right outside of her shoulders. I would say they might be a little bit wider, but that's fine. That's her comfortability. That's how she's comfortable, and she's able to keep her elbows up nice and high. All right. What you don't want to do is have the hands really close in. Let's go ahead and re-rack that. And put your hands like literally on top of your shoulders. Okay? Okay, now with this happening, the elbows are going to be somewhat caved in, and she's going to lose that thoracic extension, okay, which is going to give her a lot of power. We want to gain a really good upright position in that squat. So if you guys just take a look at that, it looks kind of caved in and unsupported, right? So let's re-rack that. All right, so getting back to the normal front squat position, okay, we want that bar nice up and high. You should feel it on your throat. If you have a hard time breathing, you're probably doing it right, okay? Next, from here, we want to make sure the stance is slightly outside shoulder width, okay? However, you can mess on certain days, work with certain different stances. It might be harder for you with wider, harder for you with narrow, mobility and tending. But there's really no one way to do things. There's always several different ways to do them. It could be work on your wide stance squat day or whatever. Okay, so for here, she's going to send her hips back and then down, driving those knees out, making sure her hip crease is below the knee, and then she's going to stand hard and then lock the hips out right at the top. Okay? What's important is when she's at the bottom of the squat, okay, she wants to keep that good upright torso, knees driving out. From here, she's going to stand up, driving through the heels, hips lock out, full extension. Okay, let's go ahead and rack that. All right, well, taking the squat to another level, okay, let's go ahead and bring it right around to the front here. All right, what commonly we're taught is just point the toes out so that we can easily drive our knees out. Now, as you become a more advanced squatter, you want to try to set your feet up, all right, a little bit more narrow, straight ahead, so that when you drive your knees out, you can get some external rotation in the ankles and knees. All right, so for here, we're going to have her set up. We're going to have her try to point those toes straight ahead, and as she drives the knees out and she squats down, okay, notice her feet went out on their own. She could probably work on a little bit of ankle mobility. Okay, some people actually can keep the toes straight ahead and drive the knees out, really getting a lot of winding force and external rotation around the ankles and knees. All right, go ahead and stand up. Good. All right, re-rack. All right, now I'm going to go over some faults with the squat, okay? What we don't want to do is get a really low rack position, okay? And right away what I'll look at is I'm just looking at the collar of her shirt. If I can see right there for guys with an Adam's apple, you probably don't have a good front squat position. You really want to get that thing up and back and on the top right there, okay? For some of you it might be uncomfortable, but really get that mobility out. All right, re-rack. All right, we're definitely not going to do the hands crossed over front squat here, okay, because really if we're trying to always train something that's functional. Now, obviously, like, you know, we can make changes on the fly. If you say you have a broken arm or something and you really want to get your squat on, we will find a way. If your cast is here, then frickin' A. Hold it right over here. I don't care. And that's fine. You're the one exception to the rule. All right? All right. Well, that's it.